Next topic, this has to do with more controversy. One Jenner is back in the headlines for another ad that didn't go over so well with people.
Yeah, so you're taking a look at the new cover for Vogue India. This is Kendall Jenner on the cover, and this is their 10th anniversary edition, so a special one for them. Now, we might not need to explain it, but I will anyways. They clearly put a non-Indian woman on the cover. So that's what's causing the controversy. A lot of people on their Instagram page, where this was also posted, are upset. And one woman by the name of Sabrina Martinez says, yes, it's pretty, but we're not celebrating white and European beauty standards. We're trying to celebrate Indian women of color. And then somebody else was basically saying, hey, yeah, great for Kendall Jenner, but aren't we supposed to be celebrating our culture, especially when it is such a milestone cover? It's not just another magazine on another month celebrating fashion or celebrating, you know, certain women in the industry. This was specifically catered to, hey, we've been around for 10 years in India. This is a big milestone for us, and they chose to use Kendall Jenner. Of course, the Pepsi controversy a couple of weeks ago, where she was featured in an ad that a lot of people thought was tone deaf, basically talking about social issues and her stance, walking out of a shoot modeling and then going out to a Black Lives Matter, I think, rally, or at least a rally similar to one of those.
Protest. Happy protest.
And so I think that she's just, again, the face of the controversial ad. Who is her manager?
Well, okay, is this Kendall, is this KJ's fault? Is this Kendall, poor Kendall, as some are going to put it, is this poor Kendall's fault? She's trying to take a gig. We've all been there, done that. I don't know to this extent. I know I haven't been out for this kind of gig. But, you know, you take a job because, hey, someone offered it to you. Vogue India offers, am I saying that correctly? Vogue India offered it to you. You take it because they think, the ones who are behind this magazine for the past decade, think that you're a great representation. You take the gig, or do you, or is it, Kendall, you should have known because you're an adult now?
Right, and I think this opens up the conversation. When people say that you need diverse people, diversity on your teams and in your boardrooms and the decision makers, people aren't just saying that just to say that because it sounds good. When you have different backgrounds, you have people with different perspectives who can offer different sides of the conversation, you're more likely to avoid things like this happening, because someone will say, you know what, that don't look good, guys, and then there's a conversation about why it doesn't look good, and then Kendall Jenner won't be put in a situation where she's offered a gig that's going to tarnish something that she's been trying to do for the last couple of years.
And trying to play devil's advocate, did she know? And does it matter that it was the 10th anniversary edition?
I don't think that.
I mean, does it make a difference? Like, any magazine can feature any woman, man, transgender. I mean, magazine covers don't necessarily say, hey, this is who is represented
to an ethnicity.
But it is. And so, but I wonder, did she know that she was going to be put on the front of the 10th anniversary special, or was it just like, hey, we're going to do a photo shoot with you? I don't know.
I would think so. When you're cast for something, I don't know, you've been to more casting calls.
I'm not sure about print and magazines and editorials. I would assume, because I would assume you know which,
or you should want to know
which issue you're going to be on, I would assume. But,
or at least that's something her manager should have clarified if they didn't know.
But
Chris, are you still managing your kids, Kris Jenner?
She needs to get on it. But again, it's kind of like if Dina was on the cover of a magazine celebrating Black History Month. You know, like, you can't do that. Dina's cool.
So why can't you do it? Explain it.
Because culturally it's insensitive, because Black History Month is the only month we get that we can actually celebrate American history, which is kind of boxed out and considered this subset portion of American history. So to do that is basically like, we have this month for you guys, but nope, we're gonna put this person on the cover anyway. So it's just not cool.
So in this case, was it insensitive of Vogue to think about this? And Jennifer says, not Kendall's fault, I blame Vogue. So do you think that Kendall should have no responsibility, period? I mean, personally, this is now the second time that she has been in something of such great controversy. So you'd think that she would just be more careful moving forward. That Pepsi ad had to be removed. It was taken down because of so many angry voices. And so it's like, if I get it if it happens and you're like, you know what, it wasn't my fault. Vogue said they wanted me, fine. But because of who she is and because of what she went through, I still feel like she needs to own a little bit more of her role in some of these things that she's taking part in.
And let me throw this out there too. Sometimes when you shoot a commercial and when you do print campaigns, you could have taken those months.
She could have used this photo for
back in September, not knowing that the blowback was going to happen before Pepsi, before all of this. So she could have really done these and be like, cool, getting this little money, have a great photo shoot, and now months later the blowback happens.
Yeah, I'm going to hold out on judgment until I know that full story, know Kendall's side of it, if she has one, because after the Pepsi ad, she went blank, like she went silent. She was humiliated supposedly. I want to go back to Cornelia's point though about diversity and the panel of people who make these decisions in terms of diversity across the board, whether it be editorial, be in the commercial world. Do you think Vogue India doesn't have someone who represents their culture on a panel?
I don't know if they do for sure, but if they did not, I would not be surprised, because there aren't very many people of color behind the scenes at high levels that are in the decision-making position of color. There aren't many. So if there aren't, I wouldn't be surprised, because
and I think people would assume, Vogue Latina or whatever. Of course, there's a whole panel of Latinas on there, or Indian Americans on there, or Indians on there. We don't know. So that is an interesting perspective. Who was on the panel making these decisions, but even more interestingly enough, did Kendall even know, maybe from a shoot a year ago, that it would pop up on this?
And that's kind of what I was thinking. Like, if she did the shoot 6 months ago, did she know it was going to be the 10th anniversary special?
Well, I think I would hope she would know it would be on Vogue India, period, and which would then cause some, I don't know.
You never know.